In the fall of 2008, Minnesota lost two of its most ardent art enthusiasts. Within the span of just a few weeks, Robert L. Crump and his wife Patricia Kennedy Crump unexpectedly passed away. It was a loss not only for their family and friends, but for the entire arts community. Bob and Pat were all things art. Together they celebrated a life in art. Bob was an author, historian, and expert on Minnesota printmaking. They were arts administrators. Together they organized the annual art exhibition at the Minnesota State Fair, the largest juried art competition in the state, for nearly 20 years. Patricia Kennedy Crump was a founding member of Old Town Artists, an artist-run co-op in St. Paul that was established in 1958. But most importantly, they were professional working artists. They shared a studio together and a passion for sketching and painting outdoors. Nearly all of their art, rural or urban, depicts a scene outdoors. These two pieces are typical of their style. They also love circuses and county fairs. Bob, who started out as a wildlife artist, particularly fancied birds and waterfowl. Together, Bob and Pat were avid art collectors and over the years amassed an impressive collection of Minnesota art. Through the vision and generosity of their 5 children, the Crumps left behind a legacy for future generations of Minnesotans. The Minnesota Historical Society is just one of several recipients, receiving a gift of more than 100 original works of art to the permanent collection. An acquisition of this size tells us a lot about the Crumps, both as artists and collectors. As artists and collectors, they love nature and the Minnesota landscape. Often, joined by fellow artists, the Crumps would spend weekends capturing the ever-changing beauty of the landscape. Farm landscapes comprise a substantial part of their collection. Rivers and rivertown imagery often appear in their collection. Notable among them is this print by Lindley Hosford, featuring a worker salvaging a log from a river. Bob literally wrote the book on printmaking. Focusing on artists who were active during the first half of the 20th century, Crump's book significantly contributes to the body of knowledge and scholarship on the subject. The Historical Society added many important prints to its collection through their gift. An example of this are these 3 serigraphs by well-known Minnesota artist Sid Fossum. Here are a few examples of other prints from the collection. Other highlights of the Crump family collection include 3 important early works by legendary Minnesota artist Cameron Booth. Also included are 2 notable works by WPA-era artist Art Carrick. In the 1930s, Carrick was one of just a few artists selected by the federal government to capture the rugged beauty of the Alaska Territory. Finally, the gift includes these 2 outstanding oil paintings by well-known artist and gallery owner Paul Kramer, bringing our total number of paintings by this important artist to 7. On behalf of the Minnesota Historical Society and the residents of this state, we are grateful to Bob, Pat, and their children for their enduring commitment to art in Minnesota.